That's nice Barbie. A nice bit of steak from our butcher's shop. And I was supposed to cut the grass today, but it never really happened. But what we did cut was the trees. So the peach tree has been, what do we call it? Thinned out. That's what we call it. And the cherry tree has had a bit of thinning, but I don't want to do too much because it's already got loads of cherries on it. So I don't really want to butcher that too much now because it's throwing out cherries everywhere. Apricots, well, they're literally, there's hundreds of them on this. So we're not going to touch that until the end of the season. But that poor thing, it got a bit of a beating today. It's another cherry tree, but it was very diseased. Had a lot of problems, and it had no fruit on it at all. So, yeah, took the decision to be completely brutal with it and chop it right back. Normally, it's not a good move, but out here, it don't seem to matter. You can do what you like with the stuff out here, it seems to grow. Even these, I mean this, the gentleman that was using this bit of land before we bought it, the guy over here, he actually put something on top of these, what I call the resniks, these hazelnut trees, to finally kill them, because they are a bit of a bugger. But whatever he used was pretty toxic, because it murdered that tree, murdered that one, and murdered these two as well. So we've butchered them, chopped them right back in the hopes that maybe they'll come back to life. If not, they'll be gone. But this one's trying. This one, not so much. But anyhow, there we are. What are you doing, Ripple? What you doing? This is our Egyptian Mao. They've got an M on their head. I don't know if you can see it. It's one of the characteristics. That and the fact that they love water, believe it or not. Although she didn't seem to like it when I tried to put her in the swimming pool the other day. So I'm not entirely convinced that they love water, but she does spend a lot of time in the sink. Yeah, so the reason we haven't murdered those trees yet is because of this thing. If this can keep growing after everything that's happened, and I spoke about this stupid plum tree 100 times, so I'm not going to go over it again, but if that bloody thing comes back to life, then I'm pretty confident that they will at some point. Anyhow, pool's about 21 degrees. Am I going in it now? No. Was I in it today? Yeah, no, I wasn't. Like I say I was, but I wasn't. Supposed to cut the grass, but I haven't. Anyhow, what should we do? Should we go for a walk? Should we go for a wander? Could go round and round the garden, but shall we open the gate and go out? Let's do that. Let's open the gate and go out. And I can show you around. We've done a bit of weeding out the front, or the wife did. I didn't. Bless her. I've got a bit more to do, because it did look like that. Anyhow, let's go for a jolly. So this is our development. It's about 39 houses on this development, and it's a new development, a couple of years old, but people are still prettying it up, doing their own bits and pieces, like This gentleman, he's obviously just had that delivery of rocks. Say obviously, it's not obvious to you. But yeah, he's just had a delivery of rocks. And they're all doing bits and pieces out the front of their places. And these people have just had a carport built, which is quite nice. Something that I want to do. Big out here. Carports, everybody has a carport. Garages aren't very common. Carports are. It's very hot. Anyhow, as you can see, most of the properties have got carports of various shapes and sizes, except us. These people have built this. I don't know what they're going to use it for, but they've got like a balcony area outside, so it's probably going to be a sauna and, you know, just maybe a guest room or somewhere to relax. I don't know, but it's really cool. Really cool. Anyhow, we're off for wandering. Don't know how the signal's going to be. We'll find out, I guess. If the stream goes to 0 and nobody comments, I'll know, won't I? Anyhow, say hello. Zohid said hi. IWAMS1. He loves Russia. Well done. Good lad. Look at the blue sky. Save the trees, mate. They will save lives. Cool. Britman, nice to see you. Cages. Poor homes in cages. Okay. Oh, you're in the laneway. Hello. Lady. Couldn't have put it better myself. Anyhow. Can hear the gas piping through. Shall we? What shall we say? Well, I thought I'd come and have a little rant, to be honest. Let me just get past this lady. This lad's got the legs on me with his scooter, that's for sure. Anyhow, yeah, I thought I'd have a rant. Oh dear, what is going on? What are our Western leaders babbling on about? Sanctions, sanctions, sanctions. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? They're all banging on about sanctions and threatening Russia, basically. If you don't do this, we will impose another sanctions package. You have until Monday, you have this, you have that. You know, threat, threat, threat. And really, I just want to ask the question, what sanctions are they going to impose that are going to affect Russia? What's the answer? Yeah, what sanctions, you know, how do the sanctions work? How has it started off? They want to do, what, I think the 17th sanctions package. So, what did they do? Start with the least amount of sanctions and the least effective, and they're gradually getting more and more awkward, shall we say, more harsh? Is that the plan? Or did they start pretty harsh, you know, to try and stamp their authority, and now they're really just blowing hot air? What do you think? I think it's the second one. I don't think they tiptoed in the beginning and are gradually getting harsher. I think they tried to break Russia with sanctions, so they imposed strong sanctions, thinking that was going to work, and then held a bit in reserve, and then got to a point where they went, oh no, this ain't working, right, let's throw the book at them. So they hit them with sanctions after sanctions after sanctions on the assumption that that was going to break Russia, and it didn't. So now what? Are they going to sanction grass or something? I don't know. But, you know, the news over here, from what I can tell, people, you know, everybody is just really laughing, to be honest. It's just hot air. It's not going to really affect Russia now in any significant way because they've learnt how to live with sanctions. And it's not like they haven't planned for it. It's not like they haven't seen it coming. They absolutely have. So the sanctions really, I don't know, they're just pointless. But I've got to say, the arrogance of the EU leadership and some of the Western leaders really I find quite staggering in the way that they are trying to dictate terms. And, you know, you guys, if you're in the UK and you only see UK media, you're going to have a version that looks like, you know, they're taking very good steps to combat Russia and to, you know, crush Russia. But from the outside, from the rest of the world, it's just rubbish. It's just nonsense. And so I find it really quite staggering that the Western leadership and the EU make threats. From what position? You must do a 30-day ceasefire. If you don't, this is going to happen. Threat. You have to do it. It's like, I don't know. It just baffles me. It really does. Russia has been saying for a year, at least a year, no ceasefire. Been down a ceasefire path before, many times, and it's always been unsuccessful. Let's leave it at that. So Russia has been saying and has said many times, and by Russia I mean the government, not Putin, not just Putin, but the government, and they've reiterated this. Everybody has. Lavrov has, Zakharov has, Putin, everybody, all the top brass in the Russian government have said it. No ceasefire. Forget that idea. Not interested. Doesn't work. Yeah. But they're still in their heads fixated with the idea of a ceasefire that's not going to happen, that will never be agreed to. So what's the point? That's what we've got to ask ourselves. What is the point? So cherries. Now, I've said before that the things grow like weeds out here, and case in point, this is just corner plot outside the boundary, and it's just one of many cherry trees and walnut trees that we'll walk past as we're wandering across the road. This is the main road into our village. If we go that way towards the sun, we go to an appa. And that way we go into town, so that's kind of, well, not town, but into the centre of the village, so that's kind of where we're heading ish. And once we get off of the main road, you can have a look around the Russian village. Very rural location. Like I say, once we get off of the main road, you'll see it's very rural, unmade roads, and yeah, you'll see, as with all of my videos, the good, the bad and the ugly, warts and all. So feel free to ask a question, pass a comment, let me know where you're looking in from. Right, Leddy, beautiful evening you have there, Chris. A little chilly up here in Moscow region, yeah, no, it's lovely, mate. Look, just gorgeous. Got the hills in the background. Doesn't show on camera, obviously, and that's always the way, isn't it? I don't know if you've done that. You go on holiday somewhere and you're on the top of a mountain somewhere, and you're looking at the scenery going, wow, this is staggering, and you take loads of pictures and you come home and you show your friends and they're going, I can't really see the mountains. And you sort of look at the pictures and go, yeah, you can't really, you had to be there. And that's, yeah, the same thing. There's beautiful views here, but you kind of have to be here. Camera's not going to show you. Sailor, how's living standards in Russia compared to England? Ooh, living standards. My experience, which I always say this, I can only comment on my experience, otherwise I'm just making shit up. So, but in my experience, I would say that my standard of living is better here. For the average Russian, I would say that the average Russian has a better standard of living than the average Brit. Purely because of things like quality of food, quality of weather, very, very low unemployment and extremely low crime rate. So just on those things alone, I would say that the quality of life, living standards are better here. Obviously bills, I suppose, are relative, except when you start talking about utilities. I don't think they're relative, they're just ridiculously, stupidly cheap here. Gas bills like 90 pence, or I think it was 90 pence last month, or we're just about to get one now, but you're looking at about £1 for the month for gas and 20 or 30 pounds a month for electric. That's not relative, that's just ridiculously cheap. But yeah, standard of living, 300 days a year of sunshine, same climate as the south of France here. So yeah, your eyes can tell you. Yeah, things like gas pipes might be a bit ugly, as you can see that yellow pipe there, but when you have a gas bill of 90 pence, put up with the ugly, don't you? Don't mind it. I actually like it, to be honest. Got used to it when I first saw it, as I've said many times. I was like, oh my god, look at that, that's a gas pipe. But now I think it's character, it's something to look at. I also think it's brilliant when they got to repair it or add to it. We've got some newish houses over there in the background. Swarm of midges. Oof. Glad I'm not in Scotland, I'd have been eaten then. Anyhow. John Fay Family USA. I think I completely butchered that, didn't I? I know I did. Lady, completely agree. They don't have anything left. It's basically just publicity so they can look like they're doing something to harm us. Yeah, that's... You've got to remember that these politicians they were all rubbing their hands together when this started. It's all going to be wonderful. We're all going to earn loads of money. We're going to crush Russia. We're going to get all the resources and break the Russia up and da-da-da-da-da. And they were all so hyped up and they were running around shouting how wonderful their plan was and, everything else. Well, now the reality is setting in, isn't it? There's still an air of desperation. And it staggers me that they still think that they're going to win, which, like I say, that just staggers me really. But I still think they're going to win. Made me jump, that did. Bet he did it on purpose. And yeah, as I've said before, if they haven't won now, if they have done what they've done to Russia with sanctions, with military aid, with everything else that they've done, the wonder weapons, game changers, how many of them have we had? And that hasn't worked. It's kind of like the sanctions, isn't it? Did they just like tickle it to start with, and now they're, now they're going to bring out the good stuff? No. They started off with a little bit of a tickle, and then they went, oh shit, and threw everything at it, and that didn't work. So what they got left? Sticks and stones, pretty much. So that ain't going to work, is it? There we go. Sailor. They've been itching to take on Russia for a long time. Ukraine is just a good excuse. Yeah, it's years, decades and decades. Ukraine was always part of the plan. Look, fender bender there, look. So, one thing I like coming from the accident repair industry, one of the biggest problems was when the police arrive at an accident, all the cars have been moved. You might have some witnesses that are going to give a statement, but all the cars have been dragged out the way or driven out the way, and then you've got to try and piece it together. Whereas here in Russia, I don't move, as you can see, even if it's blocking the road. Now that happened at 5 o'clock. I know that because I was picking the wife up, and it's still there now. And the reason it's still there is because people can drive around it, so it's not actually closing the road. If it had closed the road, the police would have been there in 10 minutes. Because the traffic is moving freely, they'll wait. But you can, I think, report the accident and upload videos, etc. on the government website, but nobody does. Everybody just stays put and they wait for the police to turn up. And my understanding is the police turn up, take some details, do a bit of camera work, take some statements, and then go, it's your fault, mate. And that's that, done. None of this battling on for months, if not years, with insurance companies. It's your fault, and that's the end of it. So, but that is the best time to make a judgment on whose fault it is. At the time, when you've got the cars there. And it's pretty obvious what happened there. You've got a car proceeding down the road, and he's buried in the side of another one, so pound to a pinch of salt that the one that's got a bit of a side bruise pulled out in front of it. Had they been moved, wouldn't necessarily have that information. So yeah, personally I think it's a good idea, good system. Moist, mildly moist. Where am I going? Don't know. Could go down that way. Don't know. I wasn't coming out for long. I've already walked a kilometre and a half. Oh well. Anyhow. Liddy, wonder why the US isn't sanctioning enriched uranium for their power plants. Interesting. You spotted that one, did you? A position of desperation, indeed. The Shadow Man said hi. Zeddy, nice to see you. Hi Chris, mate, can't wait to be in Russia in a few weeks, staying for 3 months. Epic. Wish it was forever. Epic. Well done, mate. Can't remember where you said you were going or coming to Russia. Whereabouts you're staying? My brain's saying St. Petersburg, but my brain's small and probably not perfectly formed, so anything's possible. Let me know. Oh, what a lovely evening. Sun going down. Last night we were up on the terrace watching the sunset. Glass of wine. Washed down with bourbon and coke. Not entirely sure of the order. Might not exactly have gone down like that. Don't remember. Remember waking up at about midnight on the couch. So I must have had a good night. See this a lot on posts, as you can see. You get a local service offering, you know, whatever they're offering. It's basically a building contractor offering to do probably driveways, build you a banya, pretty much anything. And then they print this out obviously at home, and then you've just got the telephone number on a bit of paper, and you just tear it off. If you want it, you just rip it off and you can call them. So that's a common thing, bit of self-marketing. Right. John Cohen, wow, yes, it's pretty much how I wake up every morning. Wow. My mobile bill is about $5 to $6 in Russian, compared to the US was $70. Shit. Wow. Britman looks like M25. It's that time of day, everybody's sort of heading home or popping to the shops maybe. Is that the pavement or hard shoulder? Well, this is the pavement. This bit here, I suppose you'd call it a hard shoulder, but it's just the bit that's not tarmacked effectively. It's just hard standing, so people can come off the road, not block the road, turn around if they need to, drop kids off. Odd Solberg, more sanctions, yeah. I mean, they've been so effective and they've worked so well. They've absolutely crushed Russia. So yeah, why not? Let's bash out a few more, finish them off. Yeah. Where is ULEZ? Yeah, we ain't got none of that crap. Yeah, that's one thing we don't have. Does Russia milk the population with congestion charge? No. Simple answer. No. Plenty of speed cameras. Especially if you head down towards Sochi on the run down there. I've run a few, unfortunately. Got a fine through the other day. It was quite expensive, actually. The wife was like, honey, this one is 1,020 rubles. About £9. Normally they're like 250, 300 rubles. But it's dependent on speed, so I was obviously tanking along a little bit at the time. Another cherry tree, side of the road, and literally when it's cherry season, that's, you know, you can walk to town eating your way there. It's remarkable. And then a bit later on you have walnut season. And peaches. And grapes, and plums, yeah. Pipes above ground so they don't freeze. I think it's kind of cool the way the gas pipe just comes along and then goes up over the road. Obviously in the UK this is all underground, but how often do the roads get dug up in the UK? I mean, I've known them to lay the road and dig it up the next day. So, yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's part to do with the pipes not breaking, because they're not in the ground, they're not freezing, the ground's not moving and breaking the pipes. But, you know, if you buy a piece of land and you want to connect to the gas system, like here, for example. Say you had this piece of land the other side of this fence and you wanted to build a house. Contact the gas people, and it's a bit of a drawn-out process, of course, but they'll shut that section of gas pipe down, tap into it, weld a new pipe in, cap it off at your house, turn the gas back on. And the road carries on working. No inconvenience to anybody. The road ain't shut, there ain't traffic lights everywhere. Men with green vests running around. There's none of that. So, yeah, it might be unsightly, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantage of it being ugly. And like I say, once you've noticed it and lived with it for a while, you stop noticing it. So that's my daughter's school. which is having a refit at the moment. So I think part of it is open, but it's just having a complete refit inside and out. Kevin Carl Rocks, hello. Odd Solberg, if a little sanctions didn't work, maybe we just need more. Yeah, that's the theory apparently. Irvin, nice to see you. Good afternoon to you, Chris. Morning for you. Glad to make a nice live stream. Knee's doing well. Just had carpal tunnel surgery. Ooh, I know about carpal tunnel surgery because I used to be involved in bike racing. It was a very common thing. Bike racers get a thing called arm pump. And really, it's pretty much caused by bad setup on the bike and a bit of nerves on the rider. So they're gripping hold of everything too much and they get arm pump. And their arms just, you know, the forearms just get solid and they can't hold on anymore. So a lot of them have carpal tunnel surgery. And there's all sorts of weird and wonderful old wives' remedies. Cranberry juice, a lot of them drink. Apparently that helps. And I've even known riders to use a cream that they use on cows' udders to make them soft when they want to milk them. Apparently that works. But yeah, I know about carpal tunnel surgery, mate. Hope that's gone well. Roofing, fences, house painting, etc. on the sign. Thanks, Leddy. That's what I needed. A bit of translation. Little impromptu football match going on, I guess, over there in the village. Like I say, it is a lovely evening. Exactly, Sailor. We had Mother's Day yesterday. Best wishes to all mothers out there. Yeah, I kind of screwed that up because I didn't ring my mum. So I'm in the doghouse, I'm sure, and I didn't ring it today to say I'm really sorry I forgot to ring you yesterday. Epic fail. Oh well, lucky there's 2,500 kilometres in between us. Don't think she can get me. You never know. Britman, mate, I might have a business prop for you and me. What do you think? No harm in listening to anything. Send me an email, mate. Or join my Telegram group. Send me a message. Who knows? I've got temporary residency now, so I can actually work in Russia. Should I wish to do so, but to be honest, I do struggle quite a lot with that word. Just unpleasant, isn't it? Tver, yes, that's right. Where my wife's from, yeah, it's been Moscow and St. Pete, yeah. So, Friday, May the 9th, Victory Day, lots of celebrations. Oh, a few strays barking at each other, a few stray doggies, generally getting in the way, being a nuisance. Yeah, Victory Day, lots of celebrations, or not celebrations, commemorations. Is that a word? Or did I just make it up? Commemorative concerts, etc., etc. But, yeah. There's a lot of people out. Because it's a big thing out here in Russia. Big thing. Sailor, I'm making a Marmite sandwich. Piss off. It's just rude, isn't it? I actually had, and I need to thank Sam from Sam's Russian Adventures for this, but I actually had ciabatta, very fresh ciabatta from the bakery, with some brie and bacon and rocket and tomato and brown sauce, and that's the bit I got to thank Sam for, the brown sauce. And if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. Some of you might be curling your mouth at the corners at the moment, but trust me, it's absolutely epic. So you can keep your Marmite. In tourism, okay. Yeah, like I say, mate, send me a message, either an email. If you send me an email, please don't ask loads of questions on email. I type with one finger, so the first thing I'll do is direct you to Telegram so I can give you a voice message. Hope that makes sense. Irvin, the latest talk about sanctions in the US is the tariffs are working. Even the Pope is made in the US. Yeah, tariffs are working. Yeah. If the tariffs were working, I don't think he'd be running them back at the moment, which is what he's doing, isn't he? So, yeah, it's all... It'd just be not... I mean, I had high hopes for Trump, to be honest. And it would just be nice if he finished something. He seems to be somebody who wants to start 100 projects and finish none of them. So, is he going to achieve anything? Not the way he's going. He needs to get rid of that Rubio. There's a minimum, absolute minimum, that clown needs to go. Well, I was going to say I have no idea why he even employed him, as he hates Trump. And he's an absolute devout neocon. But when his sponsor contributes $100 million to the Trump campaign, kind of buys a seat, doesn't it? 100 million. Personally, I'd have said no thanks, don't want your money. Right, there we go. What do I know? What do I know about politics? Trump's got a lot more money than I have. So, yeah. But he definitely needs to get rid of that guy, because he's just going to bring him down like he is doing. We've got a new church being built here. Should we go and have a look? Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. So, big church, big church. So there's the original church just there, and then we've got this one being built. She's big. Look at that. That is a big old building. Wow. Maybe you can read some of that. I can't. Yeah, like I say, that is quite impressive. You can see it's got steel columns inside, very similar to the Twin Towers. Got a feeling it will last a bit better. Yeah. Oh, I never knew that was there. Hairdressers. Lots of services and trades in our village, and lots of those services and trades, i.e. pharmacies, for example. At least half a dozen, probably more like 10. Same with hardware stores and bakeries and flowers, look. Cut flowers. Miss Flora. And we've got the standard Petrushka. And I know I butcher that name, always do, but that's what I called it. Petrushka. Yeah, whatever. 5. Let's take a shortcut. Got our local shawarma. There's only one open in the village at the moment. There was about 3. There's only that one at the moment. Little cafe, I think. Got a few cafes. Looks like a party shop. Might be wrong. No idea. So I don't know if you can see all the gym equipment over there. Super common. All over the place. If there's a park or a little bit of a recreational area, there'll be gym equipment in it. And I think it uses body weight, so that's how it works. So if you're a bit of a chunky monkey, you're going to get a proper workout, aren't you? Look at that sky. Wow. Beautiful. Miriam Adelson. Don't know who that is, mate. We built the church together, didn't get the rest. Sorry, lady. I forget people can read Russian. And by people, I mean anyone other than me. Irvin, where are we located today? Wife and I thoroughly enjoyed the video on your channel posted by a woman from Holland. Did I see that? I don't know if I did. Oh yes I did, yeah of course I did. Yeah, I shared that because at 20 minutes in there's a guy that I've met called Abdel, and he's, oh god, it's almost cliche because I say it all the time, but what can I say if that's how I find it? He's lovely. I say that about everyone, don't I? But when everybody treats me the way they have, yeah, I can only say how I perceive things and how I find it. And yeah, just another example of Russian kindness and hospitality. Lovely guy, super helpful. Oh, that's the bakery, still open, I think. I might just have shut. I think they're open, yeah, 8 o'clock. Bakery shuts, opens at 8 in the morning to 8 at night. Does your bakery do that? Yeah, about 20 minutes into that video, you'll see Abdel, and he lives in Maycor, something like that. But he really wants to help anybody that's looking to come to this region, and in particular where he is in that area, to do farming. He is willing to help free of charge. He's not got an axe to grind in any way. He just wants to, he's really interested in farming himself and Western style of farming. So he wants to get Western farmers into the area and, you know, have a mutually beneficial project going on where I suppose people learn from each other. But he's willing to help with the local administration. He's willing to help you with registration and properties and all sorts. And he's in the process of setting up a proper business, I believe, with the local administration. But not a business, you know, it would be a non-making money kind of venture where he will meet foreigners and show them around, show them various properties for sale, various farms, various bits of land, etc. So, lovely guy, really nice guy. So I had no problem at all sharing that on the channel. and I'm going to go down there. Abdul, I'm going to come and meet you. Not sure when. We'll figure it out. And I'll come and spend a day or two down with you. We'll have a look around and we'll do some filming. And see if we can get you promoted a bit. And if anybody is interested, in the meantime, if you're interested in moving to this beautiful region of ours to do a bit of farming, get in touch, and I'll put you in touch with Abdel, and he can certainly help you, make your life a bit easier, or a lot easier. Right, Lady Pietrowicka, but I like how you pronounce it. Yeah, that place. Look, see, 5. Don't know what all these hieroglyphics after it. Don't need that. It's just 5. Now, there's an ignorant Englishman. Learn to speak the freaking language, Chris. I'm trying, but I'm an idiot. Idiots don't learn much. Look at the West, specifically government. Globus is my favourite supermarket in Russia. Walking through there is free therapy. I haven't been to a Globus. I don't think we've... I mean, we obviously have, I'm sure, but I haven't seen one in our region. I think our posh supermarket, what I would call posh, you know, I don't know, what's a posh supermarket now? In Waitrose, is it? Sainsbury's, maybe? Don't know. But anyhow, posh supermarket out here, what I call posh, is one called Terrace. And that's nice. Expensive, but nice. But expensive, but nice. But expensive. SVT CZVS, you bugger. I'm going to call you. I was nearly going to say Steve, but it's not even remotely close to Steve, so I'm just going to have to stop being a dick and put up with it. Gostogoyevskaya Orthodox Parish Church in the name of Sacred Trinity. That's what it was. Thanks for that. Why didn't you say hi to a woman that just passed? She seemed lovely. As Manuel used to say to Basil 40, "Ke? What woman?" I'm too busy looking at you lot, typing. Omar, do the gravel bestrewn and unmown roadsides piss you off? Well, I'm going with no. Kind of want to question why they would. Why would that piss me off? I don't know. I think if you come from the UK, where, you know, you have the grass all mowed and everything, and they do cut it, they do mow it, it's just early in the season, so it's not been cut and mowed yet. But if that's, you know, what you're used to, and you'll come here and you'll go, "Ooh, it's not kept." How much is your council tax? Because we ain't got it. We don't have council tax. And as I said, when your gas bill is about £1 a month and your electricity bill is about 20 or 30 quid a month, the fact that the grass might not be cut, yeah, I tend not to worry too much about that, mate. So no is the answer to your question. You're probably Russian, aren't you, with a name like that? But no, it doesn't piss me off at all. Not in the slightest. Montana. Hi, Engelman. What are you talking about on this stream? Well, just kind of wandering around the village because I haven't done it for a while. I wanted to have a little rant about sanctions and how Russia must obey. the likes of Starmer and Macron, who have basically threatened Russia, I suppose, and said you must comply with a 30-day ceasefire. And yeah, like I say, as I said at the beginning, it begs the question, what part of no to a ceasefire are they not getting? Because Russia has never, ever said that they will agree to a ceasefire. The West has. The West has said that plenty of times. But yeah, what purpose would it serve Russia? And before somebody says ends killing, well, it only does if both sides comply with it. But if one side is just looking to use it as a reason to rearm and strengthen their position, doesn't seem a lot of point, does it? But yeah, it'll be what it'll be. Lady. Can't speak for Chris, but I like the unmown roadsides. I think it's more natural and better for the environment. No need to mow something if no one is walking there. No. Oh, police are here now, dealing with the little, what we call a car park kiss. Just SV is okay. Sorry to bug you, mate. You're not bugging me. I'm just an idiot. So idiots say stupid things, and I do that a lot. No, not bugging me at all. But SV, fine. Let's do that. I won't remember that, of course. So the next time you come in the stream, I'll say exactly the same thing, won't I? Dear, look at these. Anyone know what those are? And the first clown that says flowers, get out. Leave, get out. I know they're bloody flowers. Just don't know what type of flowers. They're pretty though. Look at them. They're lovely. Jesus Christ, Chris, you're looking at flowers, man. What on earth has happened to you? I'll tell you what's happened to me. I moved to Russia. That's what happened to me. I moved here and relaxed and stopped being so wound up and stressed. Started noticing things like nature and views and hills and lakes and sunsets, vineyards, and all the stuff that people talk about that when you're wound up like a clock spring you just think is stupid. But yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody, guy that I met this week actually, him and his wife and son/daughter-in-laws. He's on his way to Moscow at the moment on the train. Lovely guy, really, really nice guy, got on very, very well. And he would like to move to Russia, but I think one of his concerns is what he will do, because he reminds me of me about 4 years ago. Go, got to find something to do, got to have something to do, got to have 10 things to do, to be honest, all at the same time. Must cram my day with stuff. Oh, there we go. And yeah, we were talking, and he said, "What do you do?" And I went, "Oh, well, come on YouTube. Talk a lot of rubbish. Let's do that. It's better." Apart from that, really do a lot, to be honest. Too busy enjoying life. So, where I'd have 14 things to do in a day, probably more, now having 2 things to do in a day feels like a busy day. It's like this morning when I started the stream, I think I showed you the trees. We pruned the trees in the garden, fruit trees, cherry tree and peaches and whatever. Got a bit brutal. So I was out in the sunshine, got a bit sunburnt, did that, and then I was going to cut the grass. I just sort of went, done enough for one day. Manana, do it tomorrow. That's what life's like now. It's not full of a million things. I'm not rushing around here, there and everywhere, trying to achieve absolutely nothing. No idea what day of the week it is, other than I can work out, but I'll have to think about it. Daughter went, so Monday. Went to school, so Monday. But yeah, I have no concept of day and time. So, yeah, I think even living out here, if you were living on a very, very tight budget, you'd still have a better life. I was watching a guy who's living in Bahrain, and he said basically the same thing. He sat down, he did the calculations of how much it costs him to live in the UK, him, his wife and 3 kids, and it was £2,700 just to pay bills. You know, that's rent or mortgage, all your electricity bills and your gas bills and your council tax and tax for this and tax for that. Don't know if that included food, but he said it didn't include going out or doing anything. So he worked out what he could comfortably sort of live on, or sort of have as money each year for the rest of his life, and then looked at countries around the world that would sustain that lifestyle. So he now lives in an apartment in Bahrain. It's another destination that most people probably wouldn't think of. He seemed pretty happy. We've got to remember there's a lot more to life than going to work to pay somebody else's bill, because that's pretty much what life's like at the moment in the UK for most of us, or was for me. Oh, lovely. That is nice. A house set right back from the road, and they've got this lovely drive, a couple of lions just to make sure you don't take the piss. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Cool. Don't know what perfume she was wearing, but it was freaking lovely. She smelled lovely. Tanner, the media talking about ceasefire and going along for 4 months. Yeah, they've been banging on about it. It's Kellogg's master plan, isn't it? What a genius that guy is. Jesus Christ. Am I the only one that just thinks that all politicians are dumb? When I was younger, they weren't that thick. I'm sure they weren't. They've always been conniving as a politician. You know they're lying when they're talking. But they weren't this thick, were they? I mean, I had this conversation 3 years ago with somebody when they said, this is all smoke and mirrors. They're pretending to be thick, but really they've got a master plan. And I said, I don't think they have. I think they are genuinely that thick. Well, I've got to say, looks like I was right, doesn't it? They are genuinely that thick. Local body shop. Them guys are always working late. Fair play to them. They are always in there working. That's something you do notice. Russians don't work from a 9 to 5. You need something doing, like plumbing or cat look. Ow. Apples. These flowers. Yeah, if you need something doing, they say they'll turn up. They'll turn up. Might be 9 o'clock at night, but they will turn up, and they will stay to get the job done. So yeah, Sunday, yeah, another day. But forget times, forget appointments. Nah. They don't have watches. They have calendars. So they tell you what day they're coming. That's as good as it's going to get. They might say to you 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but that probably means 5:30. So bear that in mind if you move here. You're going to have to... well, if you move certainly to southern Russia, I think it's different in Moscow. I think there's people are more tighter on time frame. But certainly down here, it's much more relaxed, shall we say. It's almost like a Spanish time for siesta kind of vibe. Yes, beautiful horizon. Hopefully I'm going to get back so I can get up on the terrace and show you. We'll see. Yeah, lovely sunsets. That's something, when we built the house, built it the way we did, we wanted to be able to enjoy the views at all different times of the day. And with our house, there's always somewhere where you can be in the shade, and there's always somewhere you can be in the sun if you want to. Which is, yeah, it's worked out lovely. And first thing in the morning, we've got the sun coming onto the terrace for breakfast, and then at night you can watch the sunset, and it's, yeah, it's beautiful. Hopefully we get back and you can really see it, but you can see it there, look. Beautiful. You get lovely colours over here. Purples and oranges, deep reds. Really nice. Really nice. Right. Got to stop and smell the flowers sometimes, yeah. Yeah. I'm not quite there yet, to be honest. I haven't got a sense of smell anymore. Thanks to bird flu, whatever you want to call it. But that ruined my sense of smell. And I've got to be honest, I'm grateful, because at the time when I had the bear flu, the smell that I had in my nose was like burnt poo. That's what it smelled like. It was utterly disgusting. That's one of the ways you know that you've got bear flu. Sailor, it's getting dark. It flies on you, my son. Show us what king of nightlife your village has. It's a rural village, mate. Nightlife, not really a thing. Need to go into a napper for that. For a bit of and boots and cats and boots and cats. I'm a bit too old for that now. Kevin, Carl Rocks, iris flowers. A bulb that grows every year. Oh, okay. Oh, they're pretty. Why haven't we got any? I have words with my gardener. Shh, doggy. Something bleeping at me. David Martinez, are you really Russian? No. Strange question, because I've never said I was. I suppose my title, my YouTube handle, The Plastic Russian, if you go and click on my channel on the homepage, you'll see an explanation for the plastic Russian, why I've got that name. TPR for short, or just plain Chris. That'll do. But no, I'm not Russian, mate. I wish I was. I could speak Russian then. Oh, she was letting me pass, bless her. The old doggy had some teeth on him. David, that's pretty nice British accent, my friend. Yeah, it's the one I've got. I haven't changed it. And I have heard that a lot. People like my accent. It's kind of a bit of a mongrel accent. Family's from the East End of London. I was born in Devon, where we talk a bit like that, but a little bit slower. And then I lived in Sussex. Sussex, born and bred, strong in the arm, thick in the head, I think is the saying. But I wasn't born in Sussex, so kind of escaped that. Chrisman, greetings. Same to you, sir. What are you doing in Russia? Great Britain. Said hi. What am I doing in Russia? Living my best life. Literally living my best life. Loving life. It's a lovely evening. Let's get back to we'll get back to the sunset in a minute. We'll figure that out. What's the price of petrol at the moment? Let's have a look. 63 rubles for a litre fuel, which is about 55 pence, I think. 58 pence, something around there, for a litre of fuel. Don't mind that. My fuel bill for the month's about 50 quid, I think. Another reason to be here. It's not just about money. It isn't. That's the easy win. That really is. Why Russia? It's cheap. That's the easy win. Well, lots of places around the world are cheap. For me, why Russia? Until I came here, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. But now, the people. Simple. Everything else is a bonus. The food, the climate, you know, the cost of living, all of that. That's just icing on the cake. But it's the people. It's yeah. It's a level of respect that I've not come across. And am I living in a unicorn fairy dust world where everything is magical and that's what I believe? No, I'm not stupid. I understand not everybody gets along. But I can tell you that people do have respect for other people and their property. It's turning around, we're all lit up now. Look at that. So we don't have lampposts out here or street lights, we have lights on the front of each property. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's the people that make this place. Russians. They're good people. They're sincere people. And they're nice to be around. Because you know where you are. You know where you stand. There's no bullshit. They don't run around backstabbing you. So, yeah, for me, people. Yeah. Montana, today the media giftings for the citizens is absolutely bloody best in all countries around the world. True story. Let's go in the electric gate. Yep, I'll take you up and show you the sunset. Great Britain, married a Russian. Yes, I did. Married my wife in the UK, that's where we met. Hey, wife. Yeah, we met in the UK. That's where we were looking to buy a house. And then came to Russia on holiday. And that was that. Look at that behind me. Let's see what I can show you. Right. Look at that. Great Britain, same as Polish people. Yeah, I don't know many Poles. Look at that for a sunset. Look at that. Too late to see the sun going down, but you can see the afterglow. Amazing, isn't it? Yes, I don't know many Polish people. I have found ones that I have met, not all of them, but some of them in the UK, were very anti-Russian, which is a shame, without really being able to articulate why. Hadn't been to Russia, hadn't met any Russians. Just, it's a bit like I think, you know, most Brits don't like the French. Haven't met them, most of them haven't been to France. But it's just the position that we start with, isn't it? The real oak tree. Sup, dude? Sky. Sunset. Irving. Cool, mum. Don't forget. Get it done. Smash that like button for Chris. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. And yeah, I should do. Bloody well should do. Montana, you are probably from north of England, and you're probably wrong. Couldn't be further wrong if you tried. Cruisman. That terrace is a nice place to sit down and enjoy the sunset every day. Sure is, my friend. Yeah. We sit up here with a glass of wine, watch the sun go down, which is about sort of there. About there. Sun's usually sets. And then as it starts there, and then as the year creeps on, it sort of comes around this way and sets sort of here. So at the moment it's just sort of going in an arc, but yeah, it's lovely. It is. It's really nice. Lovely evening like tonight. Zeddy, thank you for your videos and streams, Chris. They're brilliant for someone who loves Russia, but is not there. Zeddy, thank you. Thank you for that. Them bloody coward frogs. Surrender monkeys. That's what we call them, isn't it? Surrender monkeys. They're going to do a whole lot of nothing. Great Britain, my wife's family are Polish and they're wonderful. Same values. The Russians invaded Poland many times, also during communist time. They treat the country as a larder to feed Russia. Yeah. Okay. It's an interesting perspective. Probably need to put the cover on the pool, I suppose. I find it hard not to be jealous. Looks beautiful where you are. It is. Super haze. Krusman, you got there before me. Who does Poland feed now then? Yeah. Well, they feed our neighbours, don't they? Kind of made for rod for their own back. Like I say, make your bed, you've got to lie in it. I'm in Leicester. Is that slang spelling for Leicester in the UK, or is Leicester somewhere else in the world? Let me know. Oh yeah, there's our local church all lit up. Looks really pretty. When I say local, I mean on our development. Very pretty. I must cut the grass tomorrow. Oof. Oh, imagine. I've got to cut grass tomorrow. Jesus Christ. So I'll get a chair out. Maybe I will. Maybe. Oh, I'll grab the chair and just watch the last of the glow before it disappears. Oh, it is, mate. Cool. East Midlands. Awesome. Leicester. So I think, I move geography. Got offered a job in Coventry, actually, working for BMW. And me and the wife went up there. What was the town that we were looking to buy a house in? Oh dear. Brain like a bloody sieve. Really nice town. Very, very well known. Very pretty. Very nice. And I can't remember what the hell it was called. But we looked there and we thought, oh yeah, nice. Nice properties. But yeah, my wife convinced me to retire instead. If only, if I hadn't retired, we could have been living near Coventry now, paying a load of tax. It's a tough one, isn't it? Sailor, by the same token, Poland did invade Russia as well. Yeah. People always have a perspective, but it's always their perspective, which we've all got. And it's few people that can actually take what I call a helicopter view and be unbiased. Even managed to capture Moscow. Super Haze, you can, but I've already told everyone. You can have a guess with my accent. Feel free. But I have actually told everyone. But go for it. Do it. Poland kicked out Russian consulate in Krakow, I think. In response, Russia will rename the street the Polish embassy is on into Ivan Susan Street. Wasn't here then. Ah, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, fill your boots. Have a go. Let me know. As I said, I'm a mongrel, so I'm a bit of this and a bit of that. I'm a bitzer. Bits of this and bits of that. Anyway, this is where we are. Southern Russia. Just inland from the coast of the Black Sea. Across the water is Turkey. To our right is Crimea, about 60 miles. 50, 60 miles. Something like that. And to our left is Sochi, about 300 kilometres. So that's where we are geographically, just outside a town called Anapa, A-N-A-P-A. Stick that in your Google Maps, see where we are. Montana, where from your accent? I told you. Miss my evenings in Adler. Yeah, I liked Adler, but I think I preferred Sochi beachfront. It just seemed a bit longer and a bit more stuff to do. Adler was nice, don't get me wrong. Didn't like the prices. Blimey, felt I was back in London. I hear a tinge of London, I reckon. Reading, no, not Reading. Keep going south. In fact, go as far south as you can without getting wet. That's where I was. My family's from East End of London. I was born in Devon. So, got all these bits going on. But no, you're not completely wrong. There is a bit of London in there. A bit of down south. But yeah, feel free to ask me anything if you're interested in Russia, if you're curious, if you've been brainwashed, if you are so far bent out of shape that you absolutely believe everything that's printed in the Western media, and you just want to tell me how wrong I am about Russia, feel free. More than happy to have a chat. Montana, sorry I had a terrible with net connections. That's all right, mate. I'm on mobile at the moment. I could just go onto Wi-Fi as I'm sat on the terrace, but Adler is rural, kind of like an Napa, I guess. Prices are expensive though. Yeah, not as high as Sochi, I don't think. Went to a restaurant down on the seafront in Sochi, and it was nice food. Don't get me wrong, and that's the thing. I don't mind paying up if the food's nice, if I enjoy it. But I begrudge spending a tenner if the food's crap. But the food was lovely, so it was expensive. Well, was it? Yeah, I suppose it was. 3 of us for a lunchtime meal, not a lunchtime snack. We had a proper meal, starter, main course, dessert, some drink, etc. And it was 16,000 rubles, which is about 140 quid, something like that. So by Russian standards, plenty. Super Haze, no way. I never would have said Devon. Didn't hear that at all. Yeah, well, we tend not to have that part of my accent until I go down to Devon. I'll go down there and maybe see my friends and that, then I fall back into it. But, yeah. Sorry, terrible accent. Well, the accent's not, just my version of it is terrible. And I left the theme about your accent. Okay. Yeah. We've all got accents, haven't we? Everybody. Every Brit can do multiple accents because we're a small island and we've got an awful lot of variation. Drive 100 miles in Britain and talk completely differently. So most Brits can do many different versions of accents. Super Haze, it's all about living standards wherever you are in the world. Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. That's what's important, isn't it? It's not, you know, you can't compare how much salary somebody earns or, you know, the cost of living or something. You've got to look at living standards. That's far more important. You know, what's the quality of life like? Then the proper combine harvesters. Combine harvester and tractor. Me and my combine harvester. Oh. Yes, start talking about grockles. Oh dear, we'll go off on a tangent, won't we? Let's not do that. When you go to Devon, when I'm in the UK, not always. I didn't go to Devon last year. Oh wow, look at the moon! Look at the moon! Look! Oh, she pretty. Yeah, I didn't go to Devon last year actually. I haven't been. Now I think of it, I haven't been for a while. Nice. No frogs. I can't hear the froggies. Very, very strange. This time last year, it was bloody deafening out here. If you look at some of my videos from this time last year, froggies were making a right row. Chris, do you know if it's possible to be a UK tax resident but live in Russia? I think the answer to that is no. So, to be tax resident, you have to spend a certain portion of the year in the UK, a certain portion of the year out of it. So it really depends where you're paying tax or getting tax benefits from. I don't claim anything or do anything, so it doesn't really affect me. We moved all our money before the current situation, so yeah. But I believe that's the case. You need to be resident in the UK for a certain period of time every year to get that. That's my understanding anyway. No problems with visas and immigration. Where would live in the world? Not entirely sure of the question, but let's have a bash. If there were no problems with visas and immigration, where would I live in the world? I'm here. I'm living where I would live in the world because I love the people and I love the country. And I just love the attitude. I love the sincerity. I love the no bullshit approach. I love the Darwin theory approach that they have out here. Common sense is very prevalent out here. I like that. Yeah. I've been to many countries. Throughout Europe I've travelled extensively. And I always looked forward to going home to the UK. You know, great to visit, nice to have a look around, have a bite to eat, but yeah, didn't really want to stay. Same with holidays. Go for a week, yeah, not too bad. Go for 2 weeks, yeah. On day 10, I wanted to go home. I haven't found that with Russia. I've found that coming here, I just want to stay. So if I had a choice, which I have, obviously got a choice, it's here. Love it here. It's wonderful. I think I need my UK tax code to be paid by my American clients. Need to see if there's workarounds. Cause Eddie, I have no idea, mate. You're getting into a realm that I have no clue about, just because it doesn't affect me. So, yeah, I don't know. Montana, I hear people who live in Glasgow or Edinburgh, and he speaks very hard to understand. Edinburgh, no. The Edinburgh accent is very easy, I think, to understand. Glasgow can be a little bit challenging, but if you get up on a whiskey trail and up on the Highlands and that, it gets very challenging. But then parts of Manchester are borderline a different planet with the accent. So I think it's relative. Certainly British people are far more able to distinguish the different accents. I didn't realise that was where you were. Fair enough, and thanks for sharing your opinion. Hey, my pleasure, my absolute pleasure. But yes, this is where I am, southern Russia. Wonderful country, wonderful people. Really nice. Zeddy, yeah, it's a tough one, mate. Cheers, though. Hopefully I can sort it out and make Russia a real option. Yeah, it's always a way, I think. Where there's a will, there's a way. Svetlana, hi. Super Hayes, are you looking for a prospective place to relocate to, or have you already managed to achieve your plan? Well, I'm standing on our plan because we built it. You can't see it because it's dark, but have a look at my channel, you'll see our house. We bought a plot of land and then we built this house here. Swimming pool's down there, but you can't see it. And a sauna. I wonder if the bedroom door's open. Oh, you legend. Oh, it's very dark in here. Bear with. Move, cat. Right, take shoes off. That's better. There's Luna. One of the 5. Yes, I said 5. And then we've got Gizmo and Ripple. Here's Gizzy, joined by Luna, and here's Ripple. Ripple always sleeping. Aren't you, sweetie? Sure she's got narcolepsy. What, you lot want to go out, do you? It's 8:45. Yeah, of course. Go on in. Off you go. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. You going out as well? Yep, see you later. Cats. Cats, cats, cats. Spy another cat there. That's Rosie, that one. So there's just one missing. My black cat, Rios. Right. Oh, let's have a... Spin that around. Do, 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 do. There we go. Right. Back home now. I've had my little wander. Smooth Russian reading skills there on Svetlana. I try and read as many words as I can, but it's challenging. Super Hayes, first time viewer, thank you. That's cool. I try and go live as often as possible at different times of the day and night because I want to be able to give people a chance to ask questions of somebody that's here in Russia, and to see a Russia that you're not going to see. You know, most people's perspective of Russia is that it's just all, here it comes, snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. And it ain't, it just isn't. So I really do just turn the camera on, don't do any editing or fancy thumbnails or anything. Videos are completely random, just whatever I happen to see at certain times of the day. But like I say, the purpose really is to give you guys an opportunity to ask a question, multiple questions. Check out the channel, there's all sorts of different videos about our region. We live in a region, it's a wine region, it's surrounded by vineyards. And we're 15 minutes from the beach. So we've got a beautiful beach here at Anapa. Lots of sand, and it's, yeah, it's a nice place to live. Irvin, with new road, how long for you to drive to Krasnodar? Forgive me if you're repeating it. No, not at all. 2 hours, 10 minutes with a new road. So it's nearly halved the driving time. So yeah, 2 hours, 10 minutes, mate. And it's a lovely road, you know, obviously being brand new, but that will link up, well, that does link up the Crimea now, so it makes going from Krasnodar to Crimea very easy, and obviously you can branch off along the way. And then I think there's a massive road being built around the Azov, the Sea of Azov. There's a ring road going to be built around that. So it'll be all linked up, and yeah, you'll be able to certainly get around a lot better than you can. I hope that they try and build something down to Sochi so that we haven't got the single carriageway road that we currently have, because that drive is a nightmare. So I'd like to think that there's a motorway planned at some point to link down to Sochi, because then that would be cool, because it's only 300 kilometres. So if there was a motorway, it'd be 2.5 hours, wouldn't it? As opposed to 8 that it can take. Super Haze, I've just woken up from a nap. I don't dream normally, and I dreamt I had 5 cats, and I don't own one. We've got 5 cats, yeah. Yes, bless them. House looks lovely, by the way, thank you. Yeah, you can buy it if you want, it's for sale. Let's have a little... Can we, can't we? No, that don't work, that don't work. Oh, technology. Quick look around. This, I don't know if it's available in your country, but it's glass, printed glass, so it's a glass splashback, and you can have any image you want printed on it, and it's printed on the back. And they cut all the holes for sockets and, you know, screws and stuff. And like I say, you can have any image you want. Coffee house, you can have coffee beans on it, or breakfast table, or literally hundreds of thousands of images. But we like this one. So cherry blossoms and the stones, bit of sea, some trees. It's just really cool. Maybe got it in the UK now, I don't know. Certainly didn't have when we left. What Russia can learn from England? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Being out here now, I don't know. I think there's plenty that England can learn from Russia. But I don't know what Russia could learn from England. Yeah, I really don't know. It certainly isn't how to run an economy, that's for sure. Going to be a bit echo in here, that's the only problem. I was going to go in the sauna tonight, but that didn't happen. Let's sit in the sauna for a bit, shall we? I'm out of the way here, I can't do any harm, apparently. Zeddy, Russians love their cats. I've gone off dogs since my wife bought her cat here. Yeah, I do love dogs, and it's lovely to have a dog at home. And you know, if you've been out all day and you go home to an empty house, but you've got a dog, it's not an empty house. It's nice to be greeted. They're always pleased to see you, but they are a real commitment. And they're a big, you know, a big tie on you. You know, if you want to go on holiday, you've got to put them in kennels. You've got to get people around to look after your dog. You have with cats to a degree, but you can go for days out. You can go for weekends. You know, ask somebody to just pop around and let the cats out or something. So they're not so much of a tie. They're a lot more independent. Davy Little, greetings from Scottish flag. Looks like, I think. Greetings. My eyesight's terrible. Sorry. If it is Scottish, whereabouts? Whereabouts in Scotland? What is it like there? Super hazy, it's amazing. It's the honest answer. It really is. 300 days a year of sunshine. We have the same climate as the south of France. So we've got a nice swimming pool. Obviously the terraces you saw earlier. We're about 15 minutes from the beach. Beach here is wonderful. 40 kilometres of sand. Like I say, we're in a wine region, so there are vineyards everywhere. A decent bottle of champagne here will cost you about £4. Good bottle of red will cost you about the same, £4 or £5 for a good bottle. Cheap bottle, £2. Yeah, the food, there's no GMO in Russia, it's banned. You're not allowed genetically modified. So all the food is, yeah, it's lovely. We've got several butcher's shops in our village, but there's one that we go to because the people are lovely. They're just so nice to us. And the meat is really nice. So we go there and get our meat. Had a couple of steaks from there yesterday. Nice on the barbie. Getting the hang of cooking steak now. Yeah, you know, no crime. Not that I've seen since I've been here. As in, like, zero. Not even road rage. Nothing. Next to zero unemployment. There's no homeless or drug addicts or anything like that. Place is clean. I could go on and on. It's easier, like I say, people ask me that question, it's easier if I tell you what I don't like about Russia, and that's the price of cars. Cars are expensive here compared to the UK, which is a bit of a surprise. But to give you an example, if you take something like, and I'm going to go in extreme, but if you take something like a 5 litre supercharged Range Rover in the UK, and if you get a left-hand drive one in the UK, something like a 2015 model will probably cost, I don't know, 15 grand maybe, max. Out here, that will be 50 or 60 grand equivalent. So, but that is the extreme, because that's probably taking the worst performing car in Britain, a petrol V8 supercharged Range Rover. Insurer's nightmare, well, not their nightmare, yours if you own it. So that's probably the worst example, but average cars are twice the price here in Russia. But the plus side for that is that cars hold their value. So in the UK, they'll drop like a stone, won't they? Whereas they don't here. You can have a car 2 years and, you know, if you've looked after it, you pretty much get your money back on it, which is insane. But that's what I don't like. But that's the easiest thing. Rather than me listing what I do like, it's easier to tell you what I don't. Hi from Carol, Jamie Gayton. Hi Carol, don't know who Carol is, but okay. Greetings from Scotland, yeah. Okay, whereabouts? Are you going to tell me? Have you told me? Let me get down. Catch up with it, with a chat. Chrisman, where are you going to move once you sell this house? Stay local, mate. We're going to stay in this area. We like the weather, we like the people, we like the region, we like this village, so we'll be staying local. Super Hayes, well, thanks for the tour, by the way, my pleasure. Yeah, Jamie, you said that. Hi from Carol. No idea who Carol is, but I found a cure for ginger people. It's called chemotherapy. Wow. Leddy, where is a place you'd like to visit in Russia that you haven't been yet? Oh, my next destination is Altai. That's nice. That's definitely nice. I should cut my leg, look. Don't know how. Oh well. It don't taste very nice. Oh, where would I like to visit? Dear. So I think in the immediate future, it's going to be Crimea. I shall be going there at some point. I want to have a look around. I'd like to go there and do a load of filming, but that's just a no-no. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be filming anything that might be used by the neighbours. So yeah, I won't be filming. I'd like to, but I won't be. So yeah, immediate future, I'll be going to Crimea at some point. Maybe there'll be a filming opportunity somewhere, but I don't know. I'm not going there for that. Where else? God, dear, so difficult because, you know, Russia's got every climate. St. Petersburg, obviously I'd like to go there because it's a beautiful city. Moscow, I'm not really a city boy, so I'm not that fussed about Moscow. Moscow's a nice, vibrant, modern city, but you know, parts of it are lovely. I'd like to see Red Square, I suppose, just to say that I've been to Red Square. But everybody's been to Red Square. There's a million videos on YouTube from Red Square, so yeah. The underground in Moscow looks amazing. Is it worth going to Moscow to go on the underground? Some might say yes, but I don't know. For me, I prefer to go yeah, more mountains. So Altai region, definitely would like to go there. Yeah, but the place is so big and our region is huge, so yeah, just have to see how things go and how life takes us. Super Hayes, thanks for sharing your experiences, as I don't feel I want to live in England anymore. I know, it's a shame, isn't it? It really is, it's sad. You know, I went back to England in May of last year and it was, yeah, it was just sad really. It was, to see my hometown looking like that, yeah, it was not good. Cushman, buy another land plot, build another house, have a career in home building. Oh, I don't want a career. I got out of a career, I don't want to get back into one. But yeah, we could do that. And that's, you know, the house is for sale, we haven't sold it, so there aren't any plans. We can't really make plans. We've kind of got plans, but if we don't sell the house, then those plans will change. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Have to see what happens. But the market's quite repressed down here at the moment. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Super Haze, I haven't travelled enough. I did a lot of travelling. Actually, I've no idea. I do it. When I used to work, I would cut myself every day. Just a normal hazard of the job. Don't know. No idea. Zeddy, I can answer that, Leddy. He'd like to come to Tavia and have a drink with me. Yeah. How far is it? It sounds like a long way away, based on the fact that I don't know where it is. So I'm guessing it's a long way away. But I'm not against it, mate. Leddy, you should check out the Urals as well if you have the chance. Bashkortostan is a beautiful republic as well. Yeah, obviously I went down to Sochi a couple of months ago now to see Ven. Check out his channel if you want to have a look at life down in the subtropics. It's subtropical, palm trees, etc. Ven space core, so VEN spacebar KOR, Ven core. Check out his channel. Lots of videos from that area. And yeah, we enjoyed that. We went up in the mountains, skiing, snowmobiling, just generally larking about. And then down on the beach. And yeah, it's nice down there. I'm a mountain guy, I love mountains, so the drive down there through the mountains and everything's, yeah, it's awesome. Beautiful scenery. Furby, good evening. Nice to see you. Oh, Leddy, Tavia is about 2 hours drive with no traffic. I read that and thought, well, that's right, we'll definitely meet up. 2 hours drive, I don't mind that. And then I read northwest of Moscow. Okay, northwest. Yeah, so you're looking at probably 2,000 kilometres from us. It's a long way. 20 hours by car. Yeah. From Anapa, yeah. Yeah, well, you need to have a summer holiday then and go to Anapa, don't you? Oh. Right, well, I've caught up with the chat, which is cool. Been on for nearly 2 hours. And it's dark outside, so I can't show you anymore. And, you know, I think you've all seen the sauna before. So, I had my little rant about the stupidity of this sanctions nonsense. But yeah, do your own research. don't believe everything you're told. Go and do your own research. Because Russia is a beautiful country and the people are wonderful. They've been absolutely wonderful to me. So, from my perspective, yeah, you should do some independent research. Not listen to mainstream media. Does anybody listen to mainstream media anymore? I suppose a few people do. Europeans go to America and find out that distance matters. Then there's Russia. Yeah, then there's Russia. Yeah. So if you're from the UK and you're unaware of the size of Russia, in the UK we have counties. Okay, so the equivalent in Russia really is a region. So yeah, a region in Russia is like a county in the UK, and our region is Krasnodarsky Krai. And we can go out driving all day and never leave our region. It's massive, I think 76,000 square kilometres. We did have this conversation actually with some of you and working out how big it is compared to the UK and everything. It's big, it's big. Hello from Reading, affectionate printer, that's cool. Hello from Reading, hi. Daniel, can you do a barbecue video? I'm not really a chef, so not really. There's far better videos on YouTube than anything I can turn out, so yeah, cooking a bit of chicken and some steaks on the barbecue. There's plenty of people on YouTube that will do it 1,000 times better than me, mate, so not really a lot of point, I don't think. Letty, thanks for the great stream, Chris. Glad to see you enjoying Russia and life. We'll keep up in Telegram and here. Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks for the stream, mate. Loved it. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, right. Timor. Nice to see you. Just as I'm about to leave. Affectionate printer. I was in Russia in 1987. Not the same place now, mate. If you haven't been since 1987, everything you know about Russia is wrong now. It's a different world. Different world now. BOD, hi from London. Hi. Yeah, Russia is... It's changed so much. Yeah, it's just not even remotely like any former representation of the country. You know, going back 20 or 30 years, it's not even close to being the same. Completely different place. You've seen the news, someone tried setting fire to Starmer's house in North London. Bloody hell. Wow. I mean, the news that I don't watch news, I watch independent media. I go and find my stuff from all over the place. Usually every day, but today I've been very busy doing I've been doing nothing, have I? Been out in the sunshine, pruning the trees this morning. But no, I haven't really looked at the news today. But the news that I have seen say that he's the most unpopular Prime Minister Britain has ever had. And I think people are fed up, aren't they? Generally. And from what I can see, Sir Keir Starmer seems to spend more time on foreign policy than he does on Britain. And I think that's most people's view, that he cares more about Ukraine than he does the UK. Well, if that's the case, he needs to go and be the Prime Minister of Ukraine, doesn't he? Not that anyone's bothered. Must be Russian agents. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, well Putin done it, didn't he? Let's face it. I absolutely guarantee within a day or two, it'll be Putin's fault. Some, you know, Stalin's house was nearly set fire. Vladimir Putin did it. I don't see my badge on it. Stay there. So this is the badge Timur's referring to. Won't focus very well, will it? Come on, you stupid thing. No. Yeah, that's for special occasions, mate. I'm not going to wear that every day because I know I'll end up either A, breaking it or B, losing it. And I don't want to do either of that, so it's for special occasions. So I was wearing that on the Friday. I was walking around the town when we went to some concerts, neighbouring village, etc. Yeah, so did a video on Friday. I don't know if you saw it, but yeah, appreciate you, mate. And this was a gift from Timur. So that pin he gave me, and also this. With love from Russia. And you can see it's been laser engraved, beautifully detailed, and that is is it a monument? Would you call it a monument? But it's Volgograd anyway. I stupidly said it was Stalingrad at one point. I'm an idiot. So yeah, that's as I said, that's very dear to me, my friend. I appreciate you for that. That will never go anywhere. Neighbours, Christmas, the neighbours could have brought some petrol to help. Oh, sniffing coke on a train with Macron. I did see that. I think that's a load of BS. It's that doesn't look like any coke bag really. So I think that's just people, you know, spinning some propaganda. I think how it looks, you know, it's like anything. You do a video or you get a video and you put a narrative to it, and it, you know, it can be anything. But I don't think that's a reality personally. Macron looked like a deer in the headlights. I think they were just trying to tidy up. It doesn't look like a coke bag, and it didn't look like coke paraphernalia to me. I'm far from an expert, but it didn't look like that. Yeah, cool. He's always there for you. I'm glad. Irvin, I posted a video on your chat. It shows the President of France, Germany, UK, along with... Yeah, I have seen it, Irvin. Like I say, I think the narrative has been attached to the video. I don't... Yeah. I try and remain objective. Yeah, you know, just step back from it. Whoever was videoing that was part of that inner circle. That wasn't just some random person that happened to catch a video. That video was part of the inner circle. There's no way, just think logically, there's no way that would get out into the public domain if that was actually true, if that's what it was. That video came out into the public domain because it was completely harmless, much like Elon Musk's salute that everybody went off on one about. You know, it's very easy to spin a narrative, but the reality is I don't believe it. Simple as that. For me, anyway. I don't think that's the reality of that video. I think that's just a narrative that's been spun. Hi Chris, good to see you. And you, mate. Storm seems to spend more time in Ukraine trains than in Down Street. Yeah, I think that's the problem, isn't it? That's why he's unpopular, isn't it? Needs to concentrate on the UK. I think there are enough problems there for him. Super Hayes, I'm having a really difficult day. Can I say thank you for giving me a little bit of hope during a difficult time and allowing me to take my mind away from it all? You can indeed, and of course it's a pleasure. We all have difficult days at times, and dark moments in our lives. I've had my fair share, I know that. But you've got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, haven't you? Tomorrow is another day. The world doesn't stop, and you get up and have another go. It's not a trial run. It's not practice. This is it. We're only renting this space for a short period of time, so we might as well make the most of it. What is the point in wasting time being unhappy? Change your environment. It's the best thing you can do. That's a wonderful thing. Yeah, Furby, stuff like that's bait, yeah. I believe Volgograd was renamed Stalingrad for a few days during the 80th anniversary celebrations. I think you're correct. If you say India and France is the best country, I will increase your subscriber by 10%. If you say India and France, blah, 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 okay. Chrisman, my first thought when seeing that video was about a crushed napkin too, but I like how everyone thinks it's dope. Yeah, it's funny, you know, it's the narrative is funny. I don't think it's based in reality at all. Like I say, just zoom out, you know, how on earth would that have ever passed any kind of vetting? Do you think that in that kind of closed environment where you've got leaders of countries and that's being filmed, do you think it's somebody just picking up their phone and filming? You know, it's like something that you'd film your mates on a night out, you know? So there's no way that that's the reality. That is just the narrative that now is being attached to it, but it's all out of context, I think, and I think you'll find it's just a napkin. They were probably trying to clear the table and make it look presentable so it didn't look like they were a bunch of slobs. You know, but yeah, I mean, look at the video of Macron when he's talking about how hard life was and, you know, how difficult it was for everybody and all of that, and then he realised that he's wearing a £100,000 watch or whatever the price of it was, and he put his hands under the table and took his watch off. I mean, that's the guy. He's not genuine, he's not sincere. He's a politician. Yeah, spam bots, they're going to go. No spam, okay. Super Hayes, you have, mate, and thank you for your advice. It's not advice, but if you ever want to know anything about Russia, if you ever want to chat, join my Telegram group, The Plastic Russian on Telegram. And if you haven't got Telegram, it's just like WhatsApp, basically. It's an app. Go to the App Store, download Telegram, and it works pretty much the same as WhatsApp, really. You can send videos, you can send pictures, you can do voicemails, you can do telephone calls and everything all for free. So, yeah, it's used a lot. You're right, you have to stay objective and have some perspective. Yeah, I call it the helicopter view. You should always zoom out. Whatever you see, it's very easy to just jump on it and take it at face value and assume that it's correct. But I've learned over these last few years that you've got to zoom out and just, you know, be objective and look at stuff from a much, you know, zoomed out perspective. Especially over these last few years, you know, what the lies that have been told about this country. If you were to believe it, which a lot of people do, then you would just demonise Russia, which is exactly what's happened. I chose to do some research and have a look with my own eyes, and I found that it's completely the opposite. So, yeah, you've always got to remain objective and look at stuff, I think, with a fresh pair of eyes, but from a, you know, a point of distance, so you can see the whole thing. And like I say, the whole video doesn't stack, it doesn't make any sense. There's no way that that would get through vetting, you know, that has been filmed, you know. The narrative would have you believe that somebody has filmed that on their camera and just leaked it to the press. You know, chances of that being real? 0, isn't it? Not going to happen. Right, you have to stay objective and have some perspective too. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I've caught up with everything. So thanks very much for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button if you can. That's always helpful. And yeah, have a look on my channel. Check out the videos that are on there. They're all random, completely, you know. Nothing. That's why the algorithm doesn't like me, because I tend not to do the same thing. So it's all different. But have a look. Have a look at Southern Russia, and if you've got any questions, if there's anything you want to know, send me an email or join the Telegram group and ask me on there. But right now I'm going to go and pour myself a glass of wine and have an early night, I think. Thanks for tuning in, guys, appreciate it, and see you in the next one.